So this is a demonstration of how to set up your Kangen water ionizer. So when you get your ionizer, please do save the cardboard box and the shipping box for later when you have to have the machine deep cleaned. It'll be a lot easier to send it back. So now that you have your machine, you're going to put it on your countertop, and you want to take the little stoppers here and just take those out. And you can put them in this bag that they provide with the phenolphthalein, the pH drops, and that way you'll know where they are, okay? And don't be upset if there's a little bit of water in here. They test all the machines before they send them out. So just save these. That's always a good idea. All right, so the next step is you want to take a look at your sink, your faucet, and you may actually need to unscrew something in here if you have an attachment. You want to get to the part of the sink where there's actually some grooves. And as you just saw in the clip before, Enagic provides you with multiple diverters, and you just want to, there's actually installation videos on the website if you go to enagic.com and you look under water and then under installation, it will show you how to do that. So if you're a little intimidated by that, don't be. You can watch each one of those, and whether you have a sprayer built in or whether it's just a standard sink like this one, it will show you how to do it. So we're going to show you with this particular sink, and I would recommend that you may need a gripper to unscrew whatever might be in the sink, in the faucet head, or you may also need a wrench as well. Okay, so I always bring that just in case. Now, we found out that this sink takes this diverter. So this is the diverter right here, and this is the attachment. So you're just going to put it in like so, okay? And I'm going to set it here. So you're going to put this first, and then your attachment. And you just want to make sure that you're getting it level. And then for tightening, it will require either a dime or a quarter. In this case, it's a dime. So we're just going to tighten that. And hopefully that will prevent any leaking. And then it's really just as simple as attaching the larger white piece. Okay. Getting it even again, that's important. Okay, and then you can test for leaking. So we'll do that off camera. If we have any, we have to troubleshoot it a little bit. You can use a little bit of plumber tape in there if you have to, but it should be good to go. So we'll, okay. And at this time, I don't see any leaking, so that means I've got it on nice and tight. And now we're ready to hook the machine up. You have your two hoses, and your gray hose is your output hose, and your white hose is your input hose. And it actually says that on here. So you can either keep those stickers on or take them off. Visually, I take them off just because I think it looks better. But if you need that reminder, that's fine. You can keep it on. So we want to take the white hose and attach it here. And sometimes you have to play with this a little bit. See the diverter here? We're going to put this through. And it takes just a little bit of working with it. If I was a man, this would be a little bit easier, but it will go in. You do want it to be tight like that anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to hook this on the back, if you can see there. Right there, nice and snug. And then I'm going to push this and screw it tight. So some people do cut this white hose just a little bit to size so that it's, you know, nothing hanging over or too bulky, but you may just not want to do that, because if you travel or you have if you're in a hotel stay, you want it to be able to reach your water source. So that really is up to you. If you ever needed to replace the white hoses, you can do that with Enagic. Okay, so I'm just tightening this up now. So when you get your diverter set up, you have three settings here. The first is tap water. And then you have a shower stream, so your water will come out like that. And then when you turn it on blue, you're actually diverting your water source into the Kangen water ionizer. Your gray hose is going to be your outgoing hose, and you want to make sure to get that set up before you flush your filter. So I'm just going to take this sticker off, and then I'm going to put this This is a nice feature that they offer for all the machines except for the Level Up R. So it will come with your faucet. All right, we'll just put that there. Now, you want to slide this through first because this will allow you to stick it to where you want it to be. Okay, just kind of move it up there. Then you're going to put this on the end. Make sure that it's up maybe about 1 centimeter or a little bit less than that. Okay, and then this little thing can move around. You can have it every which way. All right, so then you just want to position it where you want it in your sink. You may want it on the right-hand side, left-hand side. You can play with it a little bit so that it looks nice. Once you have your gray hose, the attachment set up, you can figure out where along your sink you want it. If you notice, there's a suction here and there's one underneath here as well. So this is where this gentleman wanted it here. So you can ever have it situated in your sink somewhere. These are shallow sinks. So if you have a deeper sink, you may want to actually put it in. But just make sure it's able to drain here. Most important thing about the gray hose is it should be level with your machine or lower than your machine. And that's so that excess water can drain out of that. If you can't achieve that, then just put a little something underneath your ionizer. You could do a cutting board or block of wood, something like that. You can make it look nice, a little piece of marble, whatever your kitchen requires. When you are ready to flush your filter for 5 minutes, you want to run only cold water through it. If you do hot water, it will not damage the plates at all, but it can ruin your carbon filter. You don't want to have to replace that before you need to. Also, you want to make sure that your machine is unplugged and not turned on. You're going to just flush the filter. Once you have your machine hooked up with both hoses, the outgoing and the ingoing, we're going to flush the carbon filter for 5 minutes. So all I'm going to do is set the diverter to ionizer, and I'm going to make sure that the white exit hose is here and that this is ready to go. And I'm going to just do a cold water and moderate flow. You don't have to do it super fast. And just set your timer for 5 minutes and let that go ahead and flush. There we go. You notice this tag here. It's just a little protector sheet, so you can remove that or you can keep it on. If you're going to keep it on, just gently pull this part off, but we're going to take it off for this instance. Now we're ready to plug the machine in and power it on. When you plug your unit in, I do recommend that you have a surge protector, just a single unit surge protector. We don't have one in this case, so would recommend unplugging it overnight because sometimes those electrical storms can come and it can send a power surge. Think about it like a computer almost. So do get one of those the surge protectors, and then you don't have to worry about that. Now we're going to power it on.
Power on. Kangen water 8.5.
And you have a new friend that's going to be talking to you every time you pour water. So after we power it on, I'm going to open this door here just by putting a little pressure on the right and a little pressure here, and it just hinges open. Very important to set the reset switch for the filter.
Reset.
You're setting it at 0 so it can begin counting the gallons that are running through this. This carbon filter is good for 1,500 gallons of use, and the machine will tell you when you need to replace it, so you don't need to worry about that. Now there's a little sticker that we're going to put on here for the date that we installed this, just in case you're wondering if you haven't replaced your filter in about a year, even if the machine hasn't said so, it's probably time to replace your filter. We wrote the date on the sticker. You'll find this in the owner's manual plastic bag. And we're just going to put this right here. So now if we forget, when did we get that filter? When was the first time? It'll be right there. And to put the door back on, see these 3 spots here? You're just going to hook those and then put a little pressure and it hinges right back on. Now, let's talk about your drinking waters. So your first 3 waters, if you notice, the pH is all here and it's also color coded. For those of you who have the platinum machine, it will be all silver, but the numbers are here. And if you have the Level Up R, It'll have drinking water 1, 2, and 3. So 1 would be 8.5, 2 would be 9.0, and 3 would be 9.5. So as I run the water, again, remember to do cold water.
Kangen water 8.5.
And you're going to do just a moderate flow. You don't want it super fast because you want as much water coming into contact with the plates as possible. If you can get a triple braided stream just like that, if I run it faster, you're going to see it gets real solid. Slow it down until it's a triple braided stream. Do you see it change right there? Now, if I want to change the setting, it's going to take about 1 second and it'll blink 3 times and then set into a solid green light. And then we're going to go to the highest pH drinking water, which is 9.5. And I'm going to show you when you pour a glass of water, it should be nice and bubbly. Some people say it looks cloudy. It's actually bubbles. It's the hydroxyl ions in the water. When you pour a glass of the 9.5 water, let's switch the diverter to ionizer.
Kangen water 9.5.
It should come out bubbly. There should be hydroxyl ions in that water. So we'll get a good flow going here. We're going to slow it down just a little bit to that. Sometimes you have to play with the flow a little bit depending on your water pressure. Let's see. That is the best thing for your body. And you'll notice that they start dissipating, but that's going to be the most potent water that you can put in your body, highest level of antioxidants to your health.